I don't just mean because he can sing too. Like Upchurch will out rap that fool any day of the week, cuz no joke, no joke at all. And these collaborations that Upchurch is doing with these respected OG members of the hip hop community and specifically the Southern rap community, dude, he has solidified his position for me. What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I'm Jared. This is the LVME, and we're here to talk about Ryan Upchurch's new album, Blue Jeans. I gotta say right off the bat, this was a wish come true for me. This collaboration between Upchurch and Kalani on the Beat. They've been releasing singles together here, for the past, well, I guess year or so. And I remember reacting. I think it was the second song I reacted to from them. I remember saying, oh my God, I really hope we get an album from these two. And lo and behold, we did. They even released a documentary about the making of the album. They came together apparently in 7 days and put this together, which is absolutely astounding to me. I have listened to this now. It's been out about 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks to the day today, and I have listened to this album over 20 times. I really like to get a feel for a hip hop album before I sit down and really want to talk about it. And this one here, I'll just lead off the bat. The music is absolutely incredible. Every single song on here, it's just a work of art. And even more than the music, though, this Blue Jeans album, in my opinion, is an absolute showcase for Ryan Upchurch's evolution of flow. He has gotten so many different flows in his game as a rapper now. I am just beyond impressed. That mixed with the complexity of the bars, of the lyrics, with the complexity of the music, this album withstands heavy listening really, really well. And by that, I mean it doesn't start to feel old. And the reason that it doesn't start to feel old is that the complex writing, the intelligent delivery, the music behind everything, the production, it all leads for new discoveries each time you hear it. If you're paying attention, you can notice something that you haven't noticed before. It is just absolutely incredible. If I was using a star system, it's 5 stars plus plus. Let's talk about a few specifics here. Now, the reason I'm not doing a reaction to this is because, like I said before, I've listened to all of this already, so it doesn't make sense for me to listen to these songs and then act like I'm hearing them for the first time or something, and it's just fake to me. But let's talk about some individuals that stood out on here. This album contains the best country rap song, quote unquote, that's ever been made in history, without a doubt, and probably ever will be made, and that is the song Country Like That. If they released that as a single and it were to somehow get airplay on both, say, country radio and hip hop and pop stations, I am 100% convinced the song would blow the hell up. This shit is so well written. The music goes with it so well. It's incredibly catchy. The flow that Upchurch uses, speaking of flows earlier, on this one, it all fits together for this perfect marriage that I was even riding around with my daughter in the car, and she's heard it a few times now, and the first time she heard it, she was just like, oh my God, that is such a fun song. And she's not into rap. She's not into Upchurch. She hears a lot of rap driving around in the car with me, but it's really not her thing. And she really, really liked it the first time, and then even more every time she's heard it. Last night, we were driving in the car. I was playing it once again, and she's like, Dad, I really like this song. This is like just a really good song. And I'm like, I know. I swear to God, that would be a #1 hit. It is absolutely incredible. Let's talk about the collaborations on this album real quick. There's basically 2 artists that he brings, or I'm sorry, 3 artists that he brings in. And one of those is Sky. She's on the song Trouble. She does backup vocals, an incredible bluesy voice. Kalani on the Beat apparently brought her in, and she has got just an amazing voice that really goes beautiful with Upchurch's delivery on that song, the music on that song, that one is a real standout as well. We've got Petey Pablo making an appearance on here in a fucking great song. But some of the other ones, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute, don't worry, because I got a big point I kind of want to make with him and some of the others that Upchurch has been working here with lately. But he also has got two songs on here with T2, who he has done some work with in the past. I think he had one other song, or perhaps I'm just thinking of the Lone Star single, which came out quite some time ago. But he has Lone Star and Motion Picture, which, first off, those are two really good songs. Lone Star has a little bit of a country feel to it. Motion Picture sounds like something that would be like out on the radio today on hip hop radio. It's really, really good. It's a different sound. These two work together really well. And for me, being a old school hip hop head, it's really cool seeing these collaborations that Upchurch is doing, because if you are a fan of hip hop, then you can see that what he's doing is pretty impressive. And before I get to that, I'm gonna sum up my thoughts on this album just by saying I would name you my favorite song. I don't have one, because every time I hear one, I'm like, this is the best. And then the next song comes on and I'm like, nah, this is the best. Absolutely amazing. Let's talk about these collaborations, though, specifically starting with T2. T2 is Little Troy's son. Now, you might know Little Troy if you are into Southern rap at all, old school hip hop. He wrote the song Wanna Be a Baller. Came out in 1998 on his album Sittin' Fat Down South, and it had like, I think, 6 guys on it total. He didn't happen to perform on that song on his own album, but it's kind of a tragic song. I mean, first off, the song was a pretty big hit. It hit the Billboard Top 100. I think it peaked around number 60 or 70. It became an anthem in Southern rap and down south, Houston area, all of that. And it has kind of a tragic history behind it now, because basically everybody's dead that was on that song except for Young Star and Little Troy. And that's just, it's just sad. That's the story in rap music, unfortunately. But he's doing a collaboration with the son of a guy who has very deep Southern rap roots. And that brings me to a lot of the collaborations in general that Upchurch is doing here, which I find amazing. Let's just name some of them here that he's had lately. Boozy, Yo Gotti, Project Pat, Petey Pablo, Young Buck. These names, if you're just a fan of Upchurches and maybe not rap in general, those just might just be like rappers you maybe heard of, maybe you haven't heard of, who did a song with your boy. If you're a hip hop head like me or into rap music, these guys are OGs in the Southern rap game. And Southern rap is the close cousin to country rap. Some might say that they're one and the same. Okay, so to me, Upchurch has gone out of his way, because he's not really flexing these songs. These collabs he's done, they're just kind of quiet. They're under the radar. If you're buying his albums, you're hearing them. He hasn't really released any of them as big singles. And yet they are establishing for him really solid hip hop credentials. Like, these are really, really respected members of the rap and hip hop community, which I consider myself a member of the hip hop community, because that has been my culture and my music since I was very, very, very small, and it has stayed that way my whole life. Just not that I'm some sort of performer or anything. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just saying that that's been what I've been involved with. That's my dress. That's my music. That's my friends. That was everybody and everything that I knew growing up. And I've basically stayed in that lane my whole life. So hip hop to me is important as a culture, and rap music to me is a beautiful thing for the most part. Yeah, it has its flaws. What doesn't in the world? But it's hard for outsiders and white rappers and even white guys like me. Like, in the beginning, I was not accepted in this culture. I've been called all sorts of names. And so it's a battle to be accepted in the rap community if your name isn't Eminem, okay? And instead of just like trying to be like a Jack Harlow where you're just like promoted by the label and you're forced into these collabs most likely because the labels want it to happen. And that guy is just not a very good rapper, okay? Like I'm not a fan. I haven't listened to all his music. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but the little bit I've heard just around the way, I'm not impressed. Like he's really not that good, and yet he seems to have this big push. Like Upchurch has more talent by far and away than Jack Harlow. And I don't just mean because he can sing, too. Like, Upchurch will out-rap that fool any day of the week, cuz. No joke. No joke at all. And these collaborations that Upchurch is doing with these respected OG members of the hip-hop community and specifically the Southern rap community, dude, he has solidified his position for me as a as a as a legitimate member of the rap world and of the hip hop community as a whole. And maybe that doesn't mean shit to you, but believe me, to me, it just means something personally to me. I didn't really have any doubt anyways, but I don't see how others, for instance, can have a doubt. Like when Adam 22 had him on No Jumper, and God, what an implosion that dude has had, right? Oh my God. If I was into gossip shit, I'd be talking about that fool. But Adam had Church on, a few years ago, and he caught a lot of flack on that channel, by people who were just thinking Church wasn't a member of the hip hop and rap communities. Like he shouldn't be on there. He hadn't earned his spot. And I don't know how anybody can argue against that now. And I don't just mean because he's got collabs with these guys. I mean because these guys are willing to do collaborations with him, and his skill level. You combine those collaborations that I'm talking about, and you look at his last 3 releases, starting with People's Champ, and then into Pioneer, and now Blue Jeans. His skill level shown on these last 3 albums is off the charts. And I'm speaking specifically of his rap skills. You look at those 3, you look at the work that he's doing, the respect he's showing the game. I'm fucking proud of Upchurch, man. Like, dude, you're the shit, bro. You're becoming a hip hop legend, and I'm excited for it. I love this music. This album is incredible. If you haven't purchased it yet, like it's not like I get there's no link. I'm not earning anything. I'm just telling you a solid rec. If you like rap music at all and you appreciate lyricism and excellent music and skill, like actual rap skill, not just like staying on the beat through multiple flows, having intelligent rhyme schemes that then just get carried out to the extreme level. It's, oh God. I'm going to go listen to this album now. That's it. That's my review. I can't recommend it more. Thank you to Upchurch and Kalani on the Beat for putting this piece of art together, this hip-hop artistry, and putting it out for all of us fans. I love it. You're going to love it too if you haven't heard it yet. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you like this video, you might consider subscribing. Please consider giving me a thumbs up. It does help get this video out to more and more people. And if you do want to support the channel, there is a link in the description. It's just a PayPal thing. Thanks, everybody. I really like hanging out. Hit me up in the comments. I want to know your thoughts. I'll get back to as many as I can. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Peace.